That's awesome. Well, welcome everyone. I'm so excited. So my name's Dawn and I get to be your host tonight for the Health Huddle. And I'm really excited. I mean, welcome to anyone who's new. So the newbies, welcome to all of you. If this is your first time with Zoom, have some fun. There's a little chat box in the bottom. And for all the oldies and goodies, it's good to see your faces again. We're all across the country. It's awesome. Some of you guys are getting ready for bed and some of us are coming home from work. So, but we do this every week. And it's part of our community and something that we just love to do. So welcome. And as always, we like to kick off with anything you guys are like proud of yourself for over this last week. So anyone want to come off mute? Don't be shy, but pop off and share something that it could be anything that you're proud of yourself of over the last week. Maybe you hit a victory. Maybe something new happens. Maybe it's a non-scale victory. Anyone? Oh, someone's sharing screen. I love that.
I'll share with you.
Yeah, please do. I love we've got a great backdrop here.
McDonald's. The city of McDonald's and not even tempted.
For real? That's awesome. Not even tempted at McDonald's. So good. That's totally a non-scale victory for sure. Especially with all those smells and everything. Go Bev. I love it. Anybody else have anything they want to share before we kind of kick off our topic tonight?
Dawn, it's Amber. I'll share.
Hey, Amber.
Hello. So I did something kind of fun this last week on Wednesday that was out of the ordinary for me. Last Wednesday was International Peace Day or World Peace Day, if you guys don't know. And I actually met up with a total group of strangers at a place in downtown Boise to do yoga in honor of International Peace Day. The reason that's a victory for me is, I don't know if any of you have ever tried yoga. I've done it before. I'm not fantastic at it, and it's a little bit embarrassing. So to kind of like have enough courage to go do that with people that I don't know was incredible, and it was fun. Something they shared there was that we have more in common as human beings than we are different, and that really kind of helped settle my soul with my nerves at yoga. So that's what I did that I was proud of.
That is awesome, Amber. I'm right there with you. I'm quite embarrassing to watch do yoga. In fact, it might be hilarious and quite entertaining to watch me do yoga, but well done. Way to kind of get outside your comfort zone and go and be with people, and especially for such a great cause. That is awesome. Thanks for sharing, Amber. I love that. Well, anybody else have anything that they're just raring to share? Namaste. I love that, Brad. Hey, Brad, I'm going to teach you. So we talked about what that means. Namaste means... Amber, did they talk about what that means? It means that like the spirit in me recognizes and honors the spirit in you. So it's really cool. So when people say namaste, it's actually like a greeting. And anyways, recognizing that we all are more similar than we are different. So, all right, you guys, let's get kicked off into our topic this week, which I'm really excited about. I've loved this last season of Health Huddles. Lori, a couple weeks ago, knocked it out of the park, really talking about, are you focused or are you food focused? I don't know if anyone caught that one, but holy smokes, that one was amazing. And last week, we got some amazing real talk from Mr. Brad Miller, just some awesome tangible tips about, how to be successful on this journey. So I loved that. I even took some notes myself. And this week I'm really excited because I get the honor of really coming to you with another topic. We're going to keep the theme of real talk. So we're keeping it real tonight. We're going to share some tangible tips, and we're going to talk about something that, it's even hung me up a little bit. And it's the thought of what happens next. Like, how are people all around me and out there continually moving forward in their health? I mean, I've been on this journey for over 6 years, but coached a lot of people and helped a lot of people. And there's definitely seasons to the journey. So whether you're new and getting started and you have like the getting started like high of just really excited about your goals, maybe you just formulated what they are, maybe you're in the middle of your journey, or maybe you're nearing your goals. And what does that look like? But we all have seasons. And I have to tell you, it's kind of hung me up in the past. And so maybe you're there right now. Maybe you're where it's kind of hanging you up. Like, what comes next? What does it look like when I reach my goal? What comes after weight loss. Like, I don't know if you guys know it, but on this call, there's almost 80 of us. There are so many of you who have lost your weight to your goal weight and are maintaining it. Some of you, it's been years. Do you guys want to know like how they're doing that? Like, what does that look like? What does it look like when you've reached your goal weight and transition? And how do you keep that excitement going? And how do you keep moving forward even when you're not focused on what the scale says? Because I don't know about you guys, but I had to get over the living and dying by the scale a while ago. It was driving me crazy. Has anyone ever, you don't have to raise your hands. You don't even have to blink, but I know that some of us out there, we get on that scale every day. Sometimes even a couple times a day. I don't know if that's ever happened to you, but what happens if that scale bumps up a little bit? Oh my gosh. Does it like drive you nuts? Do you hop on the client support pages and you're seeing all these people like celebrating victories, and maybe they're celebrating the scale victories, and you're like, wow, that's amazing. Why didn't I lose 5 pounds last week? What's wrong with me? Nothing at all. Like, that's what I want to really talk about this week is, what does it look like to continually be moving forward in your health? And to honestly, the scale's great, but it only is one factor in your overall health. And it really only shows us our like relationship to gravity. So I've got some really fun stories that are going to pop on and share, and I'll introduce the girls in a little bit, but I wanted to kind of talk about just a few things from experience, because I've had a lot of clients asking me, I love it, Christy, throw that scale away. Sometimes it's a good thing. Hide it somewhere, because it really doesn't validate who you are as a person or even your overall health goals. So I wanted to talk about a couple of things. Number one, the scale. We don't live and die by the scale. And if you are, just know that that scale doesn't define your worth or what your journey is. And if you're noticing that your emotions are attached to what the scale tells you, you're going to want to throw it away. You're going to want to put it away for a season or just a week or so. You're going to want to really connect in with your health coach and find out, like, what is my overall goal here? Because the scale will drive you nuts. And when you finally free yourself of what that thing, that little inanimate object says, comes the really amazing freedom of looking at overall health. And so wanted to touch on something too. Anybody out there ever thought they were experiencing a plateau, especially when you step on the scale every day? Like, you step on every day and you're like, oh my gosh, it hasn't moved for a week. Anybody ever felt that way? Like, did it not move for a week? So number one, I wanted to say, do we know what a real plateau is? So by definition, a real plateau is when you have 0 weight loss and 0 inches lost for 2 straight weeks. 2 straight weeks. But sometimes 2 days can feel like 2 weeks. I get it. I know how that feels. And I know a lot of us are right there with you. So just wanted to do the definition and tell you what a real plateau is. And that sometimes it's okay to not lose weight for a week because it's actually healthy. Our bodies are kind of catching up and regulating. And usually when you don't lose weight, we're dropping inches. So some tips, should you ever encounter a plateau, which I can tell you, if you haven't yet, you probably will. And if you are right now, perk your ears up, because take it back to the basics. If there's one thing that I have really learned over the last 6 years is when I am bored, or it feels like it's mundane, or it's getting too routine, or I'm just needing like a reboot or to get really excited about my journey again, I take it back to the basics. And the first thing is like, what is it that gets me excited? What am I really, really, really stinking excited about in my health? Maybe it's that I want to fit back into my wedding dress. That was one of my goals along my way on my weight journey. Because at one point in time, that thing didn't fit above my knees. That was sad. But you know what? It spurred me on to getting back to where I wanted to be. So what is it that gets you super, super excited? And then go back to the basics. Go back to fueling your body every 2 to 3 hours, drinking your water. Have you thought about sleep? Because we get really focused on what we're putting into our bodies. But what about sleep? Like, are you getting 7 hours of consistent sleep? That's super important. One of the most important things about our health journey is, are we sleeping? How about our stress? I don't know about some of us, but this time of year, like, kids are going back to school. Maybe the stress level is going down a little bit. Maybe it's going up, but just be aware. What's your stress level like? And then are you getting your water? So go back to the basics and, oh my goodness, connect to your coach, because they'll help you like walk through this. So that's just a little bit about a plateau in case you guys have experienced that, or put it in your back pocket for in the future. And then another thing, and this might blow some of your minds, but did you guys know that there's no such thing as maintenance? There isn't. There is no such thing as maintenance. We're not static human beings. We are never the same from 1 minute to the next, certainly from one day to the next, but we'll never stay at an exact weight. And you guys, I had to realize that the hard way, because I thought when I lost my weight, I thought I was going to stay right there, right at 128, 129 forever. I was like, yes, I've hit it. I've done it. And then the next day it was like 130 and I was like, I failed. I've just undone it. But you know what? Then I realized, and thankfully Brad is my health coach. So thank you, Brad, for always being there and being patient, but help me realize that, Dawn, look at how far you've come and look at where your overall health goals are. So you guys, really, that's what we're going to talk about, is what happens next and what's beyond when you've reached what you thought your goal was. Okay? Because we don't ever stay the exact same weight and we don't maintain. We're always either moving forward towards new health goals, or we might be slipping back into old routines. So I'm excited to bring on some of the speakers. And I just want to preface this, as you guys hear from these ladies, they're amazing. And they each have incredible health stories. They just happen to have all three lost over 100 pounds and been maintaining it, some of them for over a year. So, they know their stuff. They've been on the journey, just like many of us. But I really want to preface this, that it doesn't matter whether you've lost 10 pounds or 200 pounds. What they're going to share with you, the tips that they're going to give you tonight, are going to be applicable to you, either right now in your journey or at some point. So I'm really excited to bring on one of my dearest friends ever, Allison. She's just going to share from her heart for a few minutes. But Allison, you have an incredible story. You've been maintaining your current health for a while now. So what has that been like? And I remember we were talking, and if you could talk to yourself, a year ago, what tips would you give yourself? I love the screen sharing, guys. I'm going to have to focus on smiling and not making funny faces. Allison, honey, are you with us?
I'm here. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah. So share just a little bit about what you're thinking.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel blown away to be on this call. I never would have guessed that this would be me sharing on something like this. I'm just a girl who spent my entire childhood and my entire adulthood obese, and I didn't know what a goal was, or that could be applied to me. But I lost half of my body weight, and I've been keeping it off for over a year and a half now. And that still blows my mind a lot. And I think, Dawn is my health coach and really close friend. And it's amazing just to have this amazing community looking around the room. I think one of the things for me I want to speak to is just about your heartbeat. So much of this, and you guys know, weight is something that you can do with tips, but it's so much about your mind. It's so much about how you pick up energy and how you follow through with it and what you believe about yourself. Because I spent my whole life believing certain things that were really damaging. So one of the things that I used to have in my vocabulary all the time was the word can't. I can't run a mile. I can't hike. I can't shop at this store. I can't do this. And shoot, you guys, I am trying to eliminate that word from my vocabulary, because it's like, maybe I can't do this today. Maybe I'm working towards something else. So it's really just a mindset shift. And then also just working on the words should or shouldn't. I think that there's so much pressure from people around us to, I should be doing this and it would be good for me and I would only be happy if. No. Like you should find joy, right? And that might be just a piece of like, I can go outside for 5 minutes today, so I'm going to. I spent a lot of my life identifying as like this person, and I will always be this person. And then I had to say, like, maybe I'll set a little goal. Wow, I reached it. Cool. There's not just one goal. What's the next goal? I tell Dawn, like, I accidentally became a runner, and wait, what a second. That's not how I identified. you know, it's about taking those steps and changing the way you think and changing the way you enter into how you see yourself, and giving yourself permission to not be perfect, because let me tell you what, I'm not perfect. And life is about seasons, and life is about knowing that you're going to go through seasons and not be perfect, but having the grace and the tools to come back. I spent this last season not running as much as I wanted to, maybe up a couple pounds that I didn't want to be there. So it's about knowing how to come back to your community, come back to the tools, and say, you know what, today I start fresh. And it's a mindset shift.
That's awesome. Thank you, Allison. So many good tips, but I love that. Don't say I should, but I get to, and find joy, and say that you can find the things that you can do, that you want to do. Thank you, Allison. And just so that everybody knows, because not everybody knows you, how much did you lose and how long have you kept it off? And life looks a bit different now than it did a little while ago, huh?
Yeah, shoot. So I started my health journey at the beginning of 2014. So really not that long ago. I've lost 145 pounds, and I've been keeping it off for over a year and a half now. So that's where I'm at. Today I it's sunny, if you guys can tell. I want to soak up every little last bit because I like the warmth. I went and hiked a mountain today. I hiked 13 miles and over 3,000 feet because I can, and because it brings me joy. I'm living because I want to be able to do that.
Love it. Thank you, Allison. Oh, I'm so excited. So excited for the next couple gals to share just some quick tips too. I love, Allison, your journey and when that's meant. Leanne and I were talking earlier today, and I asked her what just some tips were that she would share, because her journey's been amazing too. So Leanne, if you're there, come off mute, honey. And what were like the 4 or 5 things that you shared with me? Because Leanne, many people in this group follow your page on Facebook. You are down over 120 pounds and just hit some amazing goals. And what like 4 or 5 quick tips would you give this crowd just to help them continually move forward?
Okay. My first tip is don't be too proud to ask for help. You're not alone, and you can't do it alone. Surround yourself with community. Get into the Facebook page and be active and talk to people, help other people, and let other people help you. And back to the basics. So I have hit that lucky number. I'm throwing away my scale because I did put a couple of pounds back on in transition and I panicked. So I'm right there with you. So I'm actually getting rid of the scale, going back through transition. But here's some things that are never, ever, 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 ever going to change. Set your alarm on your phone for every 2.5 to 3 hours. If you can't eat when your alarm goes off, hit the snooze so that it comes back on again and reminds you to eat. Don't skip a meal. Drink all your water. If you're less than 200 pounds and you're not trying to lose weight, 68 ounces. If you're trying to lose weight, 100 ounces. If you're more than 200 pounds, whatever your weight is divided in half and that many ounces of water. That's not going to change. Give yourself some grace. Okay, in an average month, there are 180 fuelings, right? 180 fuelings. You go to a birthday party and you have a piece of cake because you want to and you think it's worth it at that time. Oh my goodness, you've had one piece of birthday cake and 179 healthy fuelings. Give yourself a little bit of grace. You're okay. You're gonna be fine. Life happens. Life is always gonna happen. Just make your choices and decide whether or not it's worth it. And help others. If you help other people, if you admit that you're on a health journey and you tell other people and you get excited about it, they'll help you hold yourself accountable. That's all. Thanks, guys.
I love that, Leanne. Dang, so many good tips. I love the one about give yourself grace, because that is so true. And it's not allowing ourselves to give ourselves grace like every single day, every single meal, because then we wouldn't end up where we want to go, right? It's not an excuse to not show up to our health journey, but it is true and it's real, and we're all on a journey, and life happens, and it's going to happen. It's what we do. It's what we do when it does. So when we get thrown a curveball, how do we recover from that? What do? And never be too proud to reach out. Leanne, thank you. Awesome tips. No wonder you're just killing your health journey and rocking it. So Christy, my dear, I would love for you to come off and share just a few of your tips too. Can you unmute there you go.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Christy.
So, oh my gosh. So I can't really add too much more to what Allison, Leanne, and Dawn, I mean, amazing tips. Oh my gosh. So here's my thought for you. What does a marathon runner do after they finish their race? Most of them schedule a new race. So what do I do? Well, let me back up a little. As a former marathon runner myself, avid runner, I woke up one day and somewhere along the race, I had gained over 100 pounds. Let me tell you, that freaked me out just a little. So anyways, I've lost 105 pounds, and I've maintained for over a year now. And what really honestly keeps me going is I just keep setting new goals. So I hit that goal, I set a new one. I love it. It keeps life interesting. So that's my first tip. Just keep setting new goals. We are never really at our end. Like, I mean, well, at some point we will be, and I don't want to talk about that. Create a vision board. As you're setting your goal, create a vision board. What does that look like? Why do you want to do that? What will that serve for you? Will it bring you happiness? Will it bring you joy? Is it fun? Is it challenging? Keep a journal. And then ultimately, I just want to say, pay it forward. We have so much to offer, and our life is absolutely amazing. And I think for me, what has honestly helped, besides just continuing to set new goals, is having those client celebration calls with my clients and hearing how excited they are in their journeys. And it kind of keeps me on track. It lines me up a little, especially when I put on those jeans and they're getting a little tight. So I threw my scale away months ago because I didn't want to live by a scale. But celebration calls with my clients, celebrating with them, and those tight jeans keep me in line. So
that's awesome, Christy. I love it. So you put your tight jeans on when you call your clients, who's reminding you, like, okay, we're on a journey. We can do this. Oh my gosh, great tip. Great tip about, I didn't actually realize that most marathon runners set a new goal or set a new race and schedule something. I mean, that only makes sense, right? So I love that. And actually, it was someone pretty wise that Brad might know kind of well. I think it was his dad, said health is kind of like the laundry. We're never done. And that's right, because we live it every day. You live in your laundry, you wear your clothes. Hopefully you find joy and you're out there like truly living, get them really dirty, but we live in our bodies and we're constantly living this journey. So it's never over. It's like the laundry. And Christy, that reminder of setting a new goal, because there is no maintenance. We don't just hit our goal weight and drop our backpacks and cross the finish line. There's really no finish line. And that's where we get to really link into this community and move forward and create new goals. So you guys, I hope this was helpful tonight. I hope that this sheds some light. I know that this is kind of a topic that's out there, and don't want it to be like a taboo topic that no one wants to talk about. Like, well, what happens when I reach my goals? Life after weight loss. And I know you heard the term throw away your scale. They didn't actually throw them in the garbage. They just put them away for a season so that they could remind themselves to not live and die by that thing. But really taking into account your overall health. So you guys, thank you so much for just all that you've shared, your wisdom. Leanne, Allison, Christy, it's been an honor to walk alongside you guys and just to learn with you, and then to watch you guys pay it forward to others. So this is a pretty amazing community. So you guys, let's go out there and have an amazing week. Dive into your client support pages, take it back to the basics, but celebrate everything, non-scale, scale. You guys, you're out there killing it. Each and every one of our journeys is unique. So don't compare yourself to anyone else, but just who you were yesterday and who you want to become. So there's one thing that keeps me going, and it's remembering that I'm committed to being here and being healthy 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Heck, I want to be a 90-year-old lady, like still talking about and working on my health, probably even older than that. So make that commitment to yourself. Focus on who you want to be in the future, and then get to work building that right now and link into your support team, because that's what we're all about, supporting each other and celebrating along the way. So have a great night, you guys. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for sharing and for popping off at the beginning. Thanks for hosting, Brad.
Thanks, Don. Thanks, guys.